to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today's video is going to be talking about all things series and pretty much all the series that I want to try and read, or at least try and start in 2024. I didn't really get a lot of series read last year. I think, did I actually even complete any series? Did I complete any series last year? I suppose you could count maybe like the Truly Devious series, because the new book had released last year and I've read it and now I've completed like the whole kind of 5 books as such. But other than that, I don't think I've actually read any. I have pretty much started quite a lot of series, like the Shatter Me series, Akatar, Caraval. They were kind of like the main, I'm trying to think, yeah, they were the main sort of 3 series that I managed to sort of start last year but never really kind of like finished. However, I've got quite a stack of predominantly fantasy actually. Either I've heard so much about, or I have kind of just accumulated these series that I just really want to read. Whether I get all these series read this year, I doubt, but I will be doing my Kindle version of this because there's a few series on my Kindle that I really want to read in like a separate video. I don't really know where I'm going with this intro, but I just wanted to quickly mention that there will no longer be a Sunday upload. I was predominantly doing the Sunday uploads sort of throughout the Christmas and New Year period, but I'm now back at uni and uni has very much taking over sort of my schedule again, which therefore means I have less time to film 2 videos a week, edit 2 videos a week and upload 2 videos a week, and to batch film like 8 videos for a month is quite a lot. There may be the odd kind of like bonus video that will go up on a Sunday, but if you follow me over on my Instagram, or if you turn the little post notification bell on, you will be notified whenever I sort of upload those videos. There'll mainly be vlogs sort of going up on a Sunday if I am to upload on a Sunday, but yeah. Anyway, I rambled far too long, but I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, subscribe down below, and don't forget to turn on the little post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And with that said, let's just jump straight into the video. Okay, so we're going to start off with one author, because I've actually got 2 of her series here that I really want to read. One of them being the Inheritance Games series, which I have heard so much about. I think there's actually like a 4th book to this series now, but I've obviously just got the first 3, and I did actually get my hands on the kind of newly released covers. These were the US covers, and in the UK we had really horrific, like ugly covers with like people on them, and it just looked really bizarre. But I actually much prefer these, and I think the covers actually make me want to read the book. I don't like judging a book by its cover, but sometimes I feel like it is. This is apparently to do with a game. Somebody inherits like a fortune, and then there's a game sort of that kind of goes along with this, I think. Yeah, there's a 4th book called The Brothers Hawthorne. So yeah, I'm really kind of intrigued to see what this is all about. I have heard like all the book besties say that this is an incredible series, that Jennifer Lynn Barnes is an incredible writer. I'm not sure if this falls under the fantasy category or not, or if it's like a mystery category. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And the series goes the Inheritance Games, the Hawthorne Legacy, and then the Final Gambit, and then you have the Brothers Hawthorne, which is afterwards. And following along with the same author, I really want to read the Natural series, which is kind of like, I've been told that it's like a CSI basically, but somebody says the Naturals is Criminal Minds. Oh, there you go, Criminal Minds for the YA world, which sounds really interesting. However, I'm having a really hard time trying to track down the rest of the series, or buying the rest of the series, specifically in the UK. I can get the 2nd book on Amazon, on Prime I believe, but then I can't get the other 2, or the other 2 for some reason are more expensive. I'm not 100% sure why all that is, but if you have managed to get your hands on the entire series in the UK, please let me know where you got them from without paying an extortionate price, because some of the places I've seen is like absolutely ridiculous and I don't want to be paying that much money for a book. It's silly. So if you have managed to get your hands on, please let me know, because I really want to get it, and I don't want to necessarily read this until I get like the next books in the series. I'm that type of person that has to buy the whole series in order to read it. Okay, next up, most of these are pretty much YA, I believe, especially if they're fantasy. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I am still quite new to the fantasy sort of genre, so I quite like to immerse myself in the sort of YA side of it, just to kind of get to grips with kind of the world building, the characters and that sort of thing. So next up we have the Renegades series by Marissa Meyer. I saw Rachel Catherine read these, and anything she reads I will most likely buy and read as well. I really trust her opinions on books, and as I said, if she reads it and loves it, then I will read it and love it, I'm pretty sure. I also had, once again, a really hard time trying to track down this series. I found some on Vinted, but they were all like absolutely battered, this series. I'm not actually sure when this series came out, so I feel like it could be quite like an old series, until I found a website that did, I think it's like Books to Door or something. I can't 100% remember the website. I will try and link it in the description box down below if I remember and if I can find it. But I found the Trilogy for £11, which I thought was a really good deal, and at first I did think it was a scam. I've never seen anybody talk about this website before, but it arrived, and it arrived really quickly. So the series basically follows Nova, who is an anarchist, a girl on a mission for vengeance after the heroes sworn to protect her family failed her. Adrian is a renegade, a boy with extraordinary abilities who believes in justice and in Nova. They should be sworn enemies, but Nova finds herself torn between Adrian and the Renegades, and a villain that could destroy them both. So it's like a sci-fi kind of book, and there's obviously a subplot of romance in, which I'm going to love. The second book is Arch Enemies, and then the third book is Supernova, and I'm pretty sure I saw Rachel Catherine read Supernova in one of her reading vlogs last year, hence why I wanted to pick it up, because she said that it was the third book in the series, but that she'd completely fallen in love with that world. So I'm very excited to dive into that one. Next up is one that I have spoken about briefly before, I think, and I did actually start reading the first book in autumn time sort of last year. However, I ended up saving it till this year purely because I felt like I knew I was going to love it and I was going to completely lap it up, but I just wanted to take my time with the series, and I felt like I was rushing it because I was trying to sort of use it for a video. And that is the Prison Healer series by Lynette Noni. I have heard so many incredible things, once again from the book besties, but also people over on Bookstagram have said that they've absolutely loved this series. Once again, kind of like a game-based type of book, which I love. I also did mention this, I think, in my last video or something along those lines, that I love a game-based type book. So anything that's game related, tell me, because I will buy it. But it's kind of like this woman is, her name's Kiva Meriden, that's it, and she's a survivor, and she's basically been working as the healer of this prison called Zalindov until the rebel queen basically arrives, and she has been told to protect her at all costs, and that she can't die, and that she thinks that her family are coming for her to like save her basically. So there's obviously like a whole series towards it, but the first book is The Prison Healer. We then have The Gilded Cage, which I'm very excited for this one because it's a floppy paperback. I hate when one book in a series is a floppy paperback. I found that with Caraval was a floppy paperback, but then Legendary wasn't, and I think Finale is. I'm not 100% sure. And then Blood Traitor, sort of, not great, but yeah, so I'm very excited to read these ones. I also really love the covers of these. I think they're really pretty. Next up, we actually have the, I do actually have the other book, but it's over there and I can't be asked to go get it. It is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. and Our Violet Ends. So this is a series based in Shanghai in 1926, so in the 20s, which I feel like is going to be a really, really good read. So I bought Foul Lady Fortune without actually realising there's sort of like a previous story to it, and that I think we follow one of the characters from this book or this series into Foul Lady Fortune, and then Foul Lady Fortune has its own trilogy. So I found that out through, whose video was it? Either Hayley's or Rachel's once again, I think. Oh, it could have been Rachel's actually. And she said that you needed to read these kind of before reading that one to get an idea of the world and the characters. As I said, one of the characters we follow in Foul Lady Fortune from one of these books. So I felt like it was definite that I needed to get these. But I'm very excited to read those as well. I feel like the kind of 20s in Shanghai is going to be really interesting to read about. I'm loving reading anything that's like based in Japan at the moment, anything that's kind of set in China. I just think there's something really interesting about that. Next up we have, once again, I can't say this is my most anticipated read purely because I'm actually getting put off of it purely because of how hyped up it is, and I feel like from the reviews that I have seen online that the first book everybody has loved and the second book people have been really disappointed with it. So I'm really scared to read this, and they're also really big books, and that is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I managed to find Iron Flame in Asda for like £11, and then we've got Fourth Wing, which is obviously the first book, and I actually picked this up way before anybody started hyping up about it, and I didn't realise like it was going to be so hyped up. I remember the day it landed in shops, and I picked it up pretty much as it landed in shops, like in Waterstones anyway, and I was just like, huh, interesting. I just quite like the story about it. I also love a book that's got a map in it. Like, I'm a sucker for a map, and all I know is kind of it's about dragons, but there is like a plot of romance in it as well, so people have said it is really, really good. I could have potentially waited for them to come out in paperback, but do you know what, if I love them that much then I'll get them in paperback as well. But I think hardback is a little bit more, it's just nicer, isn't it? And lastly, I haven't got that many series, but the series that I do want to read I feel like are going to take me a while, specifically this one. I'm still waiting to get the last 3 books in this series, and I did talk about this in my last video. A link in the description box down below. It is the Mortal Instruments series. Obviously then got the Infernal Devices series too. So when I was like 12, 13 years old, this series was huge, particularly the film. I think they only ever released the one film. I remember like all my friends watching it, and it was never really my thing at the time. Like, I didn't really like any of that. I wasn't really into the kind of fantasy world apart from Harry Potter. I found this on Vinted, like the series, for so cheap that I just felt like I had to, and I had to get it. So I ended up picking up, which obviously Mortal Instruments, which is the first series. You get 6 books, and then I found out that basically the way it works is you've got to read the first 3 books, which is City of Bones, City of Ashes, and City of Glass, to then read the Infernal Devices series, which is then Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, to then go back to the Mortal Instruments and read the next 3 books in the series, which is City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire, to then go on to the last series, which is the Golden Hour or the Last Hour, or I can never remember what the name of it. I know it's got the and hour in it, which is a further 3 books, which I need to get my hands on, but I haven't found them. I've basically found this whole series on Vinted, and it's actually cost me less than £20 for the whole thing, which I think is really, really good. I have got a couple of other books coming from Vinted soon. I've got the Divergent series as well, which I really wanted to kind of pick up. There's books, one of my goals for this year was to kind of read books that were really popular back when I was younger. But those are all the series that I pretty much want to read. I mean, there's loads of series that I want to sort of get around to reading, but I think these are kind of the ones that I predominantly want to read, that I will most likely read before any others. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up, subscribe down below, and don't forget to turn on the little post notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And with that said, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.